Right, hello. This is the first video I will be making about, well, working on a Fabia. If you are new to owning a Fabia, there are a couple of little things that you should probably know. One of which being your footwells will inevitably become a puddle. If it's your rear footwells, it'll be your rear window regulator seal, and if it's your front footwells, it'll most likely be your front regulator seals. You can either A, replace the regulator and use some sealant on it, or B, just use some sealant on it as a temporary fix. So this is kind of a how-to guide to go about doing that. Obviously I bought mine in December. First thing I noticed was the windscreen iced up on the inside, which is very fun to do. Just gets water everywhere. And then obviously you notice the puddle in the back. So obviously the first thing, see if I can shut this door. So the first thing you're obviously going to want to do is take off your door card. I've already sort of taken mine off. One thing to note, when you do take the door card off, if it hasn't already been off, your clips will inevitably obliterate themselves. So it'd be worth either seeing if your local parts store or Skoda or Volkswagen or wherever you want to get your parts from sells the clips. If they don't sell the clips, go on eBay and try and source yourself some more clips, because there's no chance in hell you are going to save any of them. They will all snap. If it's the old green style, if you get lucky, you might be able to save them, but the newer ones off the modern cars look a bit like this. The older ones are a green colour. These ones do fit, but you don't need to replace them all. You could probably get away with 4. If you want to replace them all, by all means replace them all. So first thing obviously to do is to soak up any of the water from the footwell, which I have already sort of done with the wet vac. I've got the door shut because it's quite loud outside. I've soaked most of it up with the wet vac. There's still a bit left, to try and soak as much of that up as you can. Use a towel. Worst case, you're probably going to need to either fully strip out the interior and dry the carpet, or just replace the carpet with one that's not been soaking for a while. Your other option is a dehumidifier. That was a temporary thing. These do not work. They fill up instantly. On my windscreen I've got one of those misty microwave things. Not the best. It stops the windscreen misting up, but it doesn't stop the ice. So you're best off either borrowing one of these or buying one. It's just a dehumidifier. Leave it in the car for a couple of days. Yesterday I ran it and it took out about a litre of water from the car in about 5 hours, so it's definitely worth doing. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take your door card off. If you've never taken a Fabia door card off before, it's fairly easy. You've just got to pop this, I'll probably be able to do this outside actually. This window winder has a little thing. You just push it up and then pull that off, and then just put that to one side. You've got your handle assembly. Usually if you push on this forward, they'll just come off depending on if they've been off before and how stable the clips are. Again, put that to a side. Then you should, mine doesn't for some reason, have 2 positive screws in there. Once they're out, you'll have some wiggle room, and then you have your rear tweeter. If you pop that out there, you've got a tiny screw behind there. I won't be able to do that whilst holding the camera because it's a bit fiddly, but if you just pop this cover off here, if you get behind there where that gap is, you can pop that out and there'll be a little, I believe it's a T20 screw. Once that's out, you can kind of shimmy the door card off, and I'll show you the rest once it's off. So as expected, all of those clips just evaporated. Did notice that when I was trying to take my door card off, it was stuck. It's because this is just separated completely, because obviously it's either not being put back on right or it's never been off. I know for a fact this has been off. They can be very stubborn, so worst case, if that does snap, you can either repair it or see if someone's breaking one. They're not going to be very expensive for a standard one. If it's your leather ones, you want to be praying that they don't snap because they are hard to find. So once you've got that off, just take it and put it in the boot or something. So obviously that's where those ones have just snapped entirely. Those ones weren't even in. So I know for a fact someone's been in here before because they've already tried to do the repair. So I mean, if it works, it's not stupid. But you can see there, if you do squeeze, you might not be able to see it. The main source of the water is here. You can see it. You push it, just dribbles out, and obviously that sits on the seal and runs down into the car, which is why your floor mats and your floor carpet get wet. But that's horrendous. That's never going to seal. There is a section in the file section on the Fabia owners page. I recommend you go and look at that as well. But this is just a nice how-to guide as a temporary fix. Obviously, you're probably going to want to either replace the regulator or seal it nicely. So I need to take all this sealant off, clean it as best I can for now, and just go for a temporary fix. I do have 2 complete doors in the summer house, and I will be just swapping the regulators over. But for now, we just need to do that quick repair. Right. So all I've done is really tidy up these bits. It's pointless taking all this sealant off if it's sealing the majority of it. It's just there where it's ripped, and then obviously there where it's seeping out there. So I'll take them bits off and reseal it. As it's only a temporary fix, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter too much at the minute, as long as it stops the water getting in, so I can dry the car out. Alright, so once you have patched up the leak, you can then rebuild the door card. So normally you could just chuck your door card back on and away you go, but because I've seen a lot of water collecting just down there, I'm going to leave the door card off, and I'm going to put the dehumidifier on, and I'm going to come back and recheck it tomorrow. If it's still leaking, then I'll take all of this sealant off and potentially change the entire regulator, but I'd rather do that when it's a bit warmer. So as I said, if you're happy with your repair, chuck your door card back on in reverse order.